John Parker Wilson, I hope you're having an awesome day. Welcome into the game in T-Town.
I am, my man. How are you doing?
I'm very good, very good. I feel a lot more confident about getting football back than I was this time last week.
Agreed.
I mean, it just seems like we're progressing in that manner. We may get this thing back we love.
You think we're going to get it back by the original kickoff date?
I do now. I don't think I was here last week. I thought we'd get pushed back. But I think there's a couple states that we're watching, and we had a report out from California earlier. Aaron Torres saying how much the difference 24, 36 hours. The governor of California is saying that they're going to allow some sports back in June, and so if you can get professional sports back in June in that state, or at least the start of practice and things, surely we can get this thing kicked off in 109 days.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, we saw golf on TV this weekend. I watched NASCAR on TV. Like, stuff's starting to come back, and slowly but surely, the PGA's get their schedule out now. What I was reading about the horse races, the Kentucky Derbies, not going to be the first one of the Triple Crown this year. So it's starting to happen. I think everything's moving the right way. I think for college, though, one of the important things is getting students back on campus, and it looks like, I know our president and board of trustees have been pretty outspoken, saying, "Hey, we're gonna make this thing happen," which is good. I mean, even you hear the president of the United States talking about, like, people need sports. I need sports. I mean, we were eating on the patio last night. Usually we were outside, we'd have the TV on, like, watching the Braves play or something. It was just like, we need sports back. So I'm pumped. It is. I think every day we're getting closer and closer to not a resolution, but a plan to get back playing football.
I think we'll go back to NASCAR, and I'm an okay NASCAR fan. I mean, I kind of watch it just, maybe the last 15, 20 laps. Really exciting, very tense. I'm not one of those that I've got to be in front of the television every single lap. But I think we'll look back and we will appreciate NASCAR for kind of taking that first early hit, saying, you know what, we're going back. We're going back. We're going to go back without fans. And they drew some criticism. We were talking with some NASCAR people last week, and they drew some early criticism, but I think they also showed us that, during this pandemic, it's okay to smile. It's okay to be happy.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think if you, like NASCAR, I'm not saying sports is essential business, but we can kind of learn from the essential businesses and how they've been able to stay healthy and still go back to work. I'm definitely not comparing sports to that, but you can learn from, where you wear your mask, you wear the stuff, and we can keep it safe for everybody. I know that's the number one key. So, you see everybody in the NASCAR. I didn't see one person without their mask on. Now, I didn't watch the whole race. I'm like you, I like to turn to the end. But, you're doing the right things. And, I think with the medical staff that we have at Alabama, I don't think you could be safer outside of the facility with Jeff Allen, with all the doctors that we have, than with them. So, I think everybody's doing the right thing. We're trying to make it safe. We're trying to make it healthy, but we're also trying to get back to the stuff that makes us, human beings, that makes us normal again.
John Parker, I'm gonna kind of ask you a question from a player perspective. We like to pick your brain so often, but there's been some discussion out here today with the immediate transfer. There's a student advisory committee, which is made up by current student athletes that are across multiple different sports, but a discussion of a resolution in the NCAA. We're talking about immediate eligibility. In other words, you can transfer not as a grad student, but if you transfer, let's say 2 weeks before the semester starts, and you say, I'm not going to win this job, I'm going to be a second, third string guy, whatever, you can transfer and you can be eligible immediately. Does that sound like something you would be in support of?
Could you do it during the season?
Well, and see, right now, as I'm looking at the criteria, it's not been written formally yet.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but it's being discussed as no date, no timeline, really a lot of flexibility there. Now, you may have the coaches that say, whoa, we're not doing it in the season. But even a week prior to the season starting, it sounds really, really odd.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, if your backup nickelback leaves the day before the season starts and transfers to wherever, it's going to be good for the guy, for the team getting him, but at the same time, that coach is going to be sweating the night before the season about somebody's going to leave his team. I see both sides of the transfer portal. I think it's good for players to be able to move around. I think it's good for a lot of things, but I think there's got to be rules. Like, we've got to use some common sense at some point, because the NFL has a free agency period for a reason. There's only a certain time where you can move teams, and sure, there's trades and everything, but like, if you're a free agent, you got a certain time until the deadline ends where teams have got to get their roster set. I mean, it's not just like, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things riding on even the backup, the third string tight end. I mean, if we lose our third string tight end, if anybody loses their third string tight end, it's going to change the game plan. It's going to change a little bit of your philosophy on offense. No, okay, we've got one guy that can block. We got one guy that can run. Besides that, we don't know what we're going to do. So it changes a lot of different things. And I think, we've got to set some hard and fast rules on what's happening and not change them every year because of whatever happening. Like, we've got to get some consistency in what we're doing.
I mean, wouldn't this be free agency in college athletics if you have an immediate eligibility?
Yeah, it would be.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it would be. And then, you've got the ability for the players to get paid in the future. So what is influencing the players? Is it really just playing time or going to the best academic school, or is there outside things and influences that's going to make them decide to go to whatever school? I think college sports was so beautiful, so pure. It was great. Now, I think I do like the things that we've done to change it, to make it more player friendly. I do agree with the transfers, but I think there's got to be some rules where not only the players, but the coaches and the institutions and your teammates, right? Your teammates got to know what's going on, because they're trying to win games. They're trying to get themselves to the next level. They're trying to get better as a player. And with question marks every day of the year, I think that'd be tough as a player, knowing that the guy next to your locker could leave tomorrow because he had a bad day.
When you look at Nick Saban, a lot of things that he stresses, but we're just now getting some APR, the academic progress rate here. Alabama posted a program best academic progress rating of a score of 990. That's 22 points higher than the national average for any FBS program. Nick Saban puts it a point of emphasis on the academic side. I mean, we've watched this, and that's something he's proud of, and he uses on the recruiting trail as he should.
I completely agree. And I think he should. I think he should probably do it more, and doesn't get enough credit for pushing the guys, right? To push them, hey, you might not want to go to class, and not everybody wants to go to class every day of the week, but you're playing football at Alabama. It's part of the deal. If you want to play on Saturday, you're going to go to Biology 101 on Tuesday at 11 o'clock, and we're going to have somebody there checking you to make sure you go, because at the end of the day, we're 18 to 22-year-old kids. Like, sometimes, I missed class, and I definitely paid. I really remember one time where I got punished for missing class, and I didn't miss class again. Barrel rolls, down and back, and then we called them pencil rolls, where you roll on your side, 100 yards down, 100 yards back. Pretty simple.
Hold on a minute. A barrel roll is what now? So explain.
Well, like a front roll. So you go and you roll forward. You go like 3 yards, and then you roll forward again, and then you do that down the field, and you do it coming back, and then you do. I guess the barrel roll would kind of be on the side.
Okay, so you did that for missing one class?
You know what? It's been a couple of years since I was in class, so it might have been one or two classes.
Okay. I'm about to say, that's pretty rough for just one class. I mean, man, if I had to do that every time I missed a class, as a non-student athlete, I'd probably be doing barrel rolls all week.
And you'd only do it one time, because it's like the worst thing I think you could ever do. Going out on the track and running 400s was pretty bad. 110s was pretty bad, and then doing the rolls was, I think, it's the worst thing you could possibly make anybody do, because it doesn't take too long to do it, but you're out of whack for the rest of the day. I mean, you just go home and sit in a dark room, turn the air conditioner up, and try not to throw up. It's bad. It's really bad.
It was Scott Cochran the guy that would kind of make sure that those barrel rolls were fulfilled?
I can't remember if this was Coach Cochran or it was. I was 3 years before them. But yeah, I mean, when Cochran was there, it kind of rolls up in the strength and conditioning department. They get a list, of who's going to be there at 6 a.m. because they didn't do whatever they were supposed to do. And it's
hold on a minute. So the 6 a.m. was part of the requirement too? I mean, no.
I remember when I did it. This was a long time ago. When I did it, it was early. You get there early. I mean, because you got to go to class. Like
Sure,
you're not going to
sure.
do punishment because you miss class and then miss another class for doing punishment. So it was very tactful what they were doing, and it worked. It worked for me at least. I think it worked for most guys because you did not want to be on that list.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to make that list of Nick Saban, but congratulations to him and his program for continuing to stress academics, and that's something that he can walk in. He sits in a living room and convinces those parents, hey, listen, you come to Alabama, we're going to give you a great program, we're going to provide you A-plus facilities, but we also graduate our players, and we're going to get you across that graduation stage. And, that means a lot to a lot of families, and especially mom and dad.
No doubt. I mean, part of the reason you go to school is to get an education, and that never leaves you, right? Whether it's a high school diploma or college degree, like nobody can ever take that away from you. And I think at school like Alabama that I love listening to Dean Carr when he talks about the school. I do a lot of the alumni stuff with him and all the National Merit Scholars and how prestigious our academic part of the school is, right? It's not just football or whatever. We get some damn good athletics too, so it's a lot to be proud of.